You know when you have moments where things just won't go right? And you can't go on. We've just had one of those moments. I couldn't get the lighting right. I didn't feel comfortable in what I was wearing. I was wearing dark clothes again. Dark clothes yet again. Oh. I need to start thinking winter is over, summer is here. Start wearing bright and gay clothing.
You've always worn gay clothing.
As in the traditional sense of the word, thank you very much. Gay, bright.
Gay, bright and happy.
Yes.
Yay.
Thank you. So bloody welcome.
Maybe
welcome.
You could get a tan.
Well, Paul, you're looking like an Oompa Loompa today, I've noticed.
Thank you, Richard.
And you're the right size too. Now go away and bring me back some Willy Wonka chocolate.
Oh, Willy Wonka chocolate.
I can't have that anymore. Although I have had 3 Lindor today.
Well, I think that's a bit bad.
I know, meant to be cutting down because of cholesterol
Have
and
you
all
cut
of that.
down from 6 to 3? Is that what you've done? Yeah.
So, anywho, let's get on with
I
the show.
said to Richard
Paul,
that I'd like to have some chips because when I clean the bath with vinegar, I always fancy some chips with vinegar. So, yeah.
we don't use chemical sprays. I know vinegar is a chemical, but we don't use cleaning sprays, we use white vinegar. It's excellent, as long as you rinse. Yeah, and actually do it properly. You carry on, I swear to God.
But yeah, you know, you
vinegar
have
you.
your bath and it all goes
Yeah,
away
all
and
right,
then you do that. And it's
whatever,
like,
Paul.
oh,
just
chips.
Going on about things that people really aren't interested in.
No, I am.
No, I'm a bit warm now after all that
Oh,
faffing
you're
around.
flustered and hot and things. Are you having a hot flush?
Well, I better have some of my Vivy Bomb.
Are you glowing a little bit?
Well, I think it's a healthy glow.
I think it's a healthy glow. I think it's a healthy glow. Yeah.
You're pushing it. You are pushing it.
Oh, dearie me.
Right, so welcome. Welcome to the show. Vivy Bomb. Delicious. Yeah, I'm going to be eating anything I can get my hands on these days that isn't full of cholesterol. Of course, this would be no good.
Why?
Well, I don't know. It's a saturated fat, isn't it?
Is it?
No, I don't know. Is it? What is it?
Almond oil, isn't it?
And
I don't know.
is it coconut oil as well?
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil is a saturated fat.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So welcome to the show, which is called
Sunday Chat.
See, I was operating him from behind. Yes, welcome and welcome to new subscribers who've recently joined the channel. Welcome to the cult that is Richard and Paul. We're a cult channel. Nobody knows we're here. It's a secret. It's YouTube's best kept secret.
And YouTube like to keep it that way. Yeah. Don't they?
Well, I mean, I've always complained to YouTube to say, whenever they ask for feedback, I say, well, why are you promoting all these big channels earning millions of pounds when really you should be promoting the smaller channels? Really, because those are the channels that need a leg up. But of course, they consider small channels that aren't doing very well to be run by bad actors. That's the words they use, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think they mean actors as in actors,
No,
are they? It's
no.
like it's the American sort of use of the word actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they want to keep that as low as possible.
Yeah.
So, anywho, welcome to our little channel. We do hope you find it interesting and intimate.
Stimulating.
Not in that way. Don't talk across me. We've done that several times. Imminent death may occur.
Death
So,
by Richard.
We're also on Paul, really, seriously, just stop spouting random things when I am the MC of the show.
I've been up
You're
about
fine.
14 hours now.
I don't care.
You've had a nap this afternoon.
This is me not caring.
Oh, you've got so many faces of not caring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is another one. This is another one.
Oh, there's so many.
This is another one.
Oh, you're like Stanley Baxter.
I know, man of a thousand faces.
Oh, dear.
Shush now,
Right.
Paul, you're out of control.
I'll have my tea.
Have your tea and shut up.
Yeah, I'll have my tea.
Honestly, Paul. So, we usually kick off with Richard and Paul's weather report. Oh no, I was backtracking. Backtrack, go back.
Thank you.
We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and our Facebook group, Planet Vegetaria. And a word to the wise. If you want to join Planet Vegetaria, you've got to answer the questions to get in.
Yeah.
If you don't, the computer will say no.
No.
Okay?
And it throws you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, there's a couple of people tried to join recently and the computer said no because you didn't answer the questions. They're simple questions. It's not mastermind.
No.
Alright? You don't have to be brain of the world.
Britain.
I was going to say Britain, but I thought the world was more appropriate. Seeing as we have fans all over the globe and beyond.
But it's mastermind all over the globe.
I don't know. This is my face not knowing
Yes, I'm not caring.
or caring. I'm Gen X. We really don't care.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So, Richard and Paul's weather report.
No, thank you, Peregrine, for those two Agatha Christie books.
I was getting onto that.
We do that before the weather report, don't we?
Well, I am the controller.
Oh, right, okay. I'll drink my tea.
So, Paul says thank you to Peregrine for the Agatha Christie books.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Yes. I will be rereading them. I've read every Agatha Christie book, I think. And I've also read all Mary Westmacott books, which are her sort of love interest ones as well. So, yeah. And the autobiographies, of course. I've read those. I'll drink my tea. Thank you.
This is my face, not caring. So, Richard and Paul's bloody weather report. Gee, very sunny. Getting a lot warmer now. Starting to warm up in the house as well, which is pleasant. It's very warm at the top of the house.
Yes.
Although it's not too bad today.
It's been cooler today. Yeah, it's cooler today. Yeah, which has been nice. We'll come on to that later, why it's been nice. But I think it's going to be quite warm tomorrow, and then we have a bit of a heat wave, a mini heat wave coming up in the first 3 days of next week, and then it gets a bit unsettled again.
Does it?
Mm.
Oh, how nice. I do like a little bit of unsettled weather after a heat wave, because what does that mean?
Thunderstorms
It
and
might
lightning.
be thundery and lightningy.
That's what I said.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alright, shut up. Okay. And we've had quite a bit of fair weather cloud, which makes for a nice photo.
What's fair weather cloud?
Cloud during a period of fair weather.
Oh,
it's
right,
not
okay.
necessarily going to rain.
Right.
You know,
There was a few spots of rain earlier.
well, we had rain overnight.
We
Paul.
did have rain
That was
overnight.
interesting. I noticed the roof was slightly damp.
Mm.
And of course, this week was the summer solstice. So the nights are drawing in already.
Well, they're not, are they?
Well, they sort of are.
Well, they're sort of not.
They sort of are.
It sort of goes into a
not
bit of
noticeable.
abeyance for
Yeah.
like 2 or
Yeah.
3 days, and then the days start getting shorter.
Solstice means sun standing still.
Oh, does it? I didn't know that.
I think if
You're very
I
clever,
thought-
Richard.
I thought you did Latin, Paul.
I did do Latin.
Well,
Yeah, we
you
had
would
to
have
do
known
Latin.
that because the stis bit is derived from the Latin for
stillness.
Something like that, yes. I believe so. You can Google. So, yeah, and this week has seen the celebration that we have in the UK, which take place at the, what can I call, the ancient sites, namely Avebury, which we went to this week, more on that in a moment, Stonehenge, more on that in a moment, and of course Glastonbury. So people gather in large groups to watch the sunrise and the moon set on the solstice. Ooh. And of course, the day before the solstice, Stonehenge was attacked by Just Stop Oil.
Yes, it was.
Now, I was disgusted, I have to say. How dare you? How dare you desecrate an ancient monument? I don't care whether your paint was made out of corn flour or not. They actually said that, they had to airbrush it off. Because if they'd have applied water, it could have damaged the lichens and the mosses that have grown on the stones for thousands of years.
How many types of mosses and lichens?
Quite a few.
123, I thought it was.
So, Just Stop Oil might think they're doing something that isn't going to cause any lasting damage, but actually it could have done. And, they had to draft in experts to look at how the paint could be removed.
The powder,
yeah, but if the rain had got to it, if it had rained, it could have caused irreparable damage. And what the hell has Stonehenge got to do with man's polluting activity since the Industrial Revolution?
I know, I think that's the bit that I don't get. Because all the other ones that they're doing, they're against oil companies, or they're against big sort of profiteering of selling sort of expensive pieces of art and that type of thing, and the type of people who sponsor that for museums. Glastonbury...
Not Glastonbury, Stonehenge.
I was going to say Glastonbury, Stonehenge, Avebury, all of those types of sites, sponsorship and all of that it's not there.
And also not just that, not just the desecration of the stones, but the stress caused to the staff who had to try and intervene and pull them off, Think about, I would find that very stressful, because your mission as a member of staff in that team is to effectively protect the stones and look after their welfare, if you like, and the visitors.
But wasn't it the visitors that went in? Other visitors went in and tried to.
I think there was a member of staff got involved as well.
Well, I'm sure it did, but initially I think it was other visitors.
Very stressful for everybody concerned, and the visitors as well. The whole thing was totally unnecessary. I agree with the message of Just Stop Oil. We do need to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. We do need to do that because they will run out at some point, and they are very polluting. Plus, it's driving this massive greed in this whole industry, where they are getting to the point where they can charge what the hell they want for these products because they know people rely on them. So, I agree with their message, but blocking roads, gluing yourself to a motorway, preventing cars and emergency services from getting through is wrong, fundamentally wrong. You can't do that in society. If I were to go and stand in a main road and stop an ambulance from going through, I would get arrested because that's a crime. So, I think the law, the strong arm of the law, should seize these people and throw them in jail. Lock the door and throw away the key. No, I take a hard line. I think they're morons.
Good.
Anywho, that's enough on that subject. let's turn to Avebury. Lovely Avebury. I got some new jewellery.
Yes, you did.
Bought myself. I wanted to get a bracelet. I've got several bracelets, and I've got a tiger's eye bracelet, but it's too chunky for work, and I wanted something every day. And this is made out of rose quartz and shungite.
Carbon.
Which is a form of carbon. So we got this from the Elements of Avebury shop. Hi Donna, if you're watching. The lovely Donna helped me choose a bracelet because I was looking for every day. I wanted something sort of dark coloured, and she brought these out from the back of the shop. They weren't on display, and I love it actually. And you know, just have to say, since I've been wearing it, I felt quite calm.
Aww.
I know, I think it's probably the placebo effect, but you know, yeah, love it, Donna. And also, I treated myself to this beautiful vase, which depicts the stones at Avebury. What?
Didn't you treat us to it?
No, I bought it with my money. It's my vase. And it's a Anita Harris vase.
Not the singer.
Well, I don't know. Is it the same person?
No.
It is.
She used to be at Poole Pottery,
Yeah.
apparently, and has featured on Antiques Roadshow.
Signed on the bottom by the artist, Anita. So that is an absolute beauty. There's a whole range of them. I know. But we just haven't got room for any more vases. We've got so many, but this small one is enough for maybe 3 little flowers or something. But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love the blue and the reds.
And the greens.
It's just...
And the golds.
It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I think these are meant to be trees, but to me they're figures dancing in the stone circle.
Well, maybe that's what it's meant to be as well.
So lovely. Elements of Avebury. If you get chance and you're visiting Avebury, pop into Elements of Avebury. It's a beautiful shop. Absolutely lovely.
I was amazed to find out that she's been there, and the shop has been there 7 years, because it used to be an antique shop with an old couple in it that ran it. And for me, the last time we went in there was only about, I don't know, it feels as though it was only about 3 years ago.
No.
But it's much, much longer than that. And apparently the couple who used to run the antique shop have sadly died since as well. But yeah,
they were pretty old.
They
when
were.
we visited.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, people do die, Paul.
I know. But it was a lovely day in Avebury. It really was.
And if you'd like
lots of sheep.
Yeah.
Lots of sheep poos as well.
Yeah.
That was all really
blah, blah, blah.
interesting, and trying to avoid those.
Yeah, we're promoting other videos as well. If you'd like to see more on our trip to Avebury, watch my daily vlogs. I'm going to burp. Pardon me.
And if you'd like to see more on Avebury, watch A Week at the Plot.
I can't do another card straight after it, Paul. Sorry.
Well, why don't we drop yours and put mine in instead? No. Oh, dearie me.
So, Paul, today you've been down at the plot, and it's been a gate sale. Not selling gates.
No.
What were you selling down at the plots, Paul?
Plants.
Oh.
And tools and things like that.
Tools?
Yeah. Our next door neighbour plot holders that have vacated to move to mainland Europe, there were various tools that they gave us that we could sell at the gate sale, so we have those on sale too.
Oh.
I was a bit concerned that with the way my growing season has been going, that other people, that the number of plants that we were going to have this year was going to be down. And because so many people have said how challenging the year has been for them as well, in sort of low germination, slow growth, all of that type of thing. And certainly our tomatoes that we had this year on sale were shorter than usual. We have some that are sort of 3 foot tall and quite a few, and I think there were quite a few less. There was only about 4 or 5 like that. But we had loads of plants, and we do it on the same day as the Fox pub opposite has its artisan market. At the same time as well, 11 till 3 o'clock. And we raised £530, which is a really good sum to raise. Lots of people turned up to help set up and put all the plants out, and we do areas with brassicas and squash and house plants and flowering plants. We make sure that people don't have to go around. If they say, well, I'm looking for a house plant, you can say, well, that's over there. And it was just a great day. It was nice and overcast most of the time. It was still warm, but it wasn't too hot, which was really, really good, because, standing there from 9 till 3 basically, set up and then take down was 9 till 3:30. And last year it was pretty hot, and it was a bit overwhelming, but this year was fine. So we did really well. I'm really pleased. Yeah.
Did you take your hat? No, you didn't, did you? No. Did you wear sun protection?
Yeah.
Did you now?
Yeah. I've got sun protection at the plot.
Really?
Yeah. I bought it from Lidl
Wow.
about 3 weeks ago.
Well, apparently the little ones have been rated good.
Have they?
Yes, they have, because they've recently done a test.
I did see that.
Yeah.
And some of the really expensive
There were
ones were really bad.
Well, I didn't see the expensive ones. They were Asda, something else, and something else. And the Asda one was really bad. But the Lidl and Aldi ones were good.
There we are.
There we are. I do need to buy some Factor 100 so I can continue to reflect the light rather than absorb it. Good. So it went well.
It went well.
Excellent,
Yeah.
Paul.
And it's been a busy day today.
Yeah, right.
And then tomorrow's a busy day as well, because for our sake and the Great Green Barn, we've got the Midsummer Revels. That's from 3 till 6. So I'll be leaving here 3 till 6. Yeah, 3 till 6. I'll be leaving here sort of quite a bit earlier than that to make sure that everything is set up, which it will be by the time I get there. But there's other things that I need to do. So it's going to be quite a busy weekend, quite a full-on weekend for me. Yeah. Which is fine.
That means I'll have to make bloody dinner tomorrow.
Well, no. We could just have pasta.
I'm joking.
You can
That
make
was
a lovely
my
risotto.
I'm joking face.
I didn't recognise that one.
Risotto.
Yeah, risotto.
Yeah, but we can't have a lot of cheese in it, Paul.
Well, we don't need to have cheese in it.
No.
We can just have water.
Water and pea risotto.
No, water and rice.
Or just
water and
air.
rice. Just air.
Air and dust.
Yeah, we'll blitz it up and just
Air
have it
and
with a
dust
spoon.
risotto. Lovely. So that's super duper. It's been a busy week generally for us. And of course, this week we voted.
Yes, we did.
I know.
Yes.
People are saying, how have you voted? The election isn't until the 4th of July. Well, we do it by postal vote, which means we get to vote first.
Well, yeah, I suppose you get it over and done with. You know, it's sort of
don't have to go to
done
some
and dusted
filthy
then.
polling station.
Well, it's not filthy.
With the rest of the hoi polloi. We can just tick a box in the comfort of our own home.
You put a cross in the box. You don't tick it.
What?
You don't tick it.
Oh my God! I've ruined my ballot paper. No, I did a cross. Of course, I did a cross. But you can take your time and you can research. I find it more civilised to do a postal vote. You can sit there and think, who's going to win? Which one shall I put the cross on? Close my eyes and feel.
And you can get some psychic vibrations coming through.
And then I just cross it wherever. Not really. No, I sit and Google. I Google the candidates. I have a look at their track record, what they've done, if they are actually any use in society whatsoever already. And the person I voted for is.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, it's going to be quite
And
interesting.
they live in the borough.
Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting in this election in our local borough, our local ward, because constituency, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because the Labour politician that has been around for ages is not standing this time, is retiring, and so it's really a whole load of new faces.
Yes.
And that's sort of quite interesting. There is the Labour person is somebody who has already been a councillor in Ealing, which is interesting. But I was shocked to find that our Conservative standee for position lives in St Albans.
I don't think so.
Which is about 40 miles away.
I don't think so. We need people in the borough.
I mean, that's ludicrous.
Yeah, it is ludicrous.
Utterly ludicrous.
You can't manage a constituency and be a member of parliament if you're not actually living in the place where you're serving the people.
Yeah.
You got no. Anywho, that's enough of politics. Thank you, Paul. We'll be doing day trips next week. Because I'm off. Lovely.
Well, you're off for a couple of days, so we're doing a couple of days through.
Well, I'm actually off for
day
3
trips.
days, I think you'll find.
Right,
Three
okay.
days, Paul, thank you. So we're doing some day trips. If we do, we'll take you along.
Yeah.
On my daily vlogs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
Paul may take you along as well on his Week of the Plot. So, it's time for the final segment of the show, which is called...
Are you doing a word this week?
Oh, God, yes, a word.
I like this bit.
Yes, so do I. There's nothing that makes me happier than reading a difficult word out in a passage that I've never rehearsed.
Oh dear.
God, I thought I got away with
Oh,
that.
I'm glad I remembered that.
So, what date is it today?
It's the 22nd, Saturday.
Well, it's the 23rd.
23rd, Sunday, yeah. Yeah, 23rd.
Oh, God. What?
It's when he goes silent.
What? There's too many words and they're too
Well,
big.
just read the first paragraph.
No, because... Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
Right, the word is Lurden. L-U-R-D-A-N. L-U-R-D-A-N. And the author has chosen to befuddle me with lots of long words that I don't know the meaning of. Well, I do, but...
Like lugubriousness.
Shush now. God. Should one need to express particular contumely? What the hell is contumely?
I don't know that.
Contumely. C-O-N-T-U-M-E-L-Y. For a dull, sluggardly rascal, there is the very old word
Is that like
Lurden.
contemptuousness?
Paul, stop it right now. Because you're making it more difficult for me. I'm going to start again. That's his fault, you can blame him. Should one need to express particular contumely for a dull, sluggardly rascal, there is the very old word Lurden, from the French lord, which means heavy. In Of Reformation, 1641, John Milton addresses an anthropomorphized tumour, representing the bishops, thus, Lorden, quoth the philosopher, thy folly is as great as thy filth. It can also work adjectively. Others have been energetically abused as lazy, Lurden friars, Lurdane knights, and so forth. One should be careful to remember that Lurdans are not harmless. On this day in 1314 began the Battle of Bannockburn, which ended in Robert the Bruce's victory over Edward II's English forces. It is vividly described in a verse chronicle, The Bruce, 1375, by John Barber, who also describes the earlier siege of Kildrummy Castle, defended by Robert's brother. In that battle the defenders fell because there within was a traitor, a false Lurdane, one Lozenger deceiver, their blacksmith. Osborne betrayed his side and set the castle on fire. I have no idea what that word means.
No.
From that, what does the word mean? Heavy. Heavy.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether we get laden from Lurden.
Lazy Lurden.
We need Doodah from Countdown. She'd know.
Do you see what a challenge that is? Back to the easy bit. What have we watched on television? Easy television. Just look at it and it feeds you things. You don't have to think. God. I mean, if you've got time, you would check the other word, contumely or whatever it was, and see what that meant.
Alexa,
no, she's
what does
not gonna
contumely mean?
Contumely is usually defined as insulting display of contempt in words or actions, contemptuous or humiliating treatment. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for contumely.
No.
So,
okay.
I was right.
Right, come on now, love. Let's get to easy bit television. That's the bit that I like. What have we watched on television this week? Well, I've just got to say, I watched this programme today. Oh, God. It was something like When Dogs Go Wrong. I don't know. Dogs behaving badly. Something like that.
Canine dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
What other kind of dogs are you talking about? And it might have been called Morons Who Don't Know How to Train Their Dogs.
Right.
Because it was just full of people who couldn't control their dogs, who had absolutely no idea how to deal with this simple problem with their dogs.
What problem?
One couple, oh well, we think our dog's jealous of us, or when we sit together on the sofa, the dog won't let us sit together, so we think he's jealous of us. So they were sitting together on the sofa, the dog was trying to jump up to get attention, and they were going, "No, stop biting me, get off." And the guy said, the trainer said, well, all this excitement is causing the dog to jump up and try and interact with you. Because
and have fun.
He's seeing excitement, hands everywhere. And he said, you know, you need to stop all of that, put the dog outside, wait for him to calm down, then invite him back in, and keep doing that until they were like, oh, right, so he's not jealous then. He said, no, he's not jealous. He's trying to join in with you. He wants to be with both of you. And then there was another one. They said, oh, well, we can't go for family walks with dog because he just hates other dogs. We just have to drag him off because he just barks at the other dogs. And so they took him for a walk and to illustrate what was happening. And she's pulling him away from the dog, saying, come over here, stop it, shut up, stop it, stop it. God. And the guy said, has he ever interacted with another dog? Have you let him interact? She said, well, no, because he doesn't like dogs, does he? And he said, well, why not allow him? We're going to put you into a controlled environment with a couple of other dogs. Allow him to make a doggy friend. And they did. And the problem was solved.
I mean, that's ludicrous.
They made a whole programme out of this.
Which you watched.
Which I watched, yeah.
Why did you watch it?
No, it was just on and I thought, oh, I'll watch this for a laugh. When dogs go wrong.
I mean, it is, most issues with... Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know anything
No,
about
I
dogs.
don't know
or you
anything
didn't grow
about
up
dogs.
with
I was going to say
We
most
had
issues
dogs.
with any type of situation with little things and bigger things is sort of parenting and stuff like that.
Cats, we've had cats.
Well, they get on with themselves, don't they?
We had dogs
Yeah.
as kids, but we had cats for the past 20 years. We know how to handle cats. Yeah. Anywho, whatever. We also started rewatching Butterflies. This is the 1970s sitcom with Wendy Craig and Jeffrey Palmer, and of course Nicholas Lyndhurst as a very young boy. We started watching it to sort of discover, I mean, this is where your memories don't match up the reality, because everybody has this, rose-tinted memory of Butterflies. Oh, Wendy Craig, she was so funny, and she played the mum, and she used to burn the food, and she was a terrible cook. Ha 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 ha. But actually, when you rewatch it, it's kind of slightly depressing. It's kind of slightly dark in places, and there was a warning at the beginning saying some of the language used some people may find offensive.
And we sort of went, what? Really? Why?
Really?
No.
And, and yes, she's kind of having a sort of gentle breakdown in many ways. And she is constantly musing. It's written by Carla Lane, who, used to write from women's perspectives. And especially women who felt trapped in some way in relationships, in family situations, trapped housewife type of scenario.
Trapped in society, really.
Yeah. And of course, back in the 70s, I think a lot of women did feel like that. They felt as though once they'd had the children were grown, they had no role anymore, because a lot of women didn't have careers. They were kind of kept by their husbands and were expected to keep house and, I mean, Rhea, the character in Butterflies, she has a lovely house, a husband, 2 kids, older kids, and a housekeeper as well.
They're affluent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's in a good situation, but she is wanting more from her husband.
She wants more from her husband, from life and from society.
And she meets another man, and they've not had an affair, but they do sort of meet for coffee, and he's very different to her husband. He makes her laugh. They go for walks. But
he listens to her.
But we also know that they do love each other, husband and wife do love each other, because they have said it. But there was a moment where she does a little soliloquy, and she exclaims, and I won't say the word in case YouTube picks up on the word and finds it offensive, but she shouts, "I want to be RAPED." And we both went, whoa! That was the bit that people could find offensive, and there was laughter from the studio audience.
Yeah. I mean, she was talking about that. She wanted excitement in her life. She wanted to be taken out of the drudgery and boredom of getting the kids out of bed, feeding them, getting the husband off to work, all of that, only to be waiting for them to come back so that she could feed them again. And so she was looking for this excitement, but and you're going along with her, aren't you? And she's walking around her living room, around the sofa, and then she says this, and it's sort of like...
It's kind of a little bit shocking. It was a little bit shocking. But it was the audience reaction, because today, if that was said, I don't think it would get the same reaction at all.
No.
there would be a gasp, you know. So it's kind of darker
than you remember.
And of course, we were watching it. We were kids when we were allowed to watch.
I would watch it with Dad. Mum would usually be out at work at the Old Government House Hotel, and I'd be watching with Dad. It was sort of like 8 o'clock on a Monday or Tuesday evening, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a top British comedy, and of course with an excellent theme tune as well, which was Dolly Parton originally, wasn't it? That song, Butterflies.
Yeah.
So we watched that. We finished Marlon Crowbar's Shelter. That's Harlan Coben.
It is a teen. It's one of the first teen novels that he wrote. Teen interest novels.
Yeah.
I mean, there are so many situations which are you just don't believe them. But there was also, wasn't there? There was a basketball game that went on for about 6 or 7 minutes.
I think that was the problem with the production. It was a little bit drawn out. There were scenes that were too long, and it seemed like there was a deliberate ramping up of the tension.
Yeah.
Which was becoming obvious. It kind of looked as though, oh shoot, we need to make up the time. It needs to be this long, this episode. So we'll stretch these bits out.
It was 8 episodes, and it would have been better as 6.
Yeah, definitely. There was a twist.
Yes, the twist I didn't see coming. I sort of did.
Yeah, don't say any more because you can...
Yeah.
But it was kind of entertaining. It certainly, most of the time, kept me awake.
It did. I think you only started falling asleep through 2 episodes. So that's pretty good.
So I look forward to the more adult Marlon Crowbar.
The ones with Richard Armstrong in.
Richard Armstrong?
Richard Armitage.
Well, I'll know about them because I follow Richard on Instagram.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, he doesn't follow us though.
But he's in the next one, isn't he? He's been cast in the next one.
Yeah, and he's getting a bit typecast now, isn't he, really?
He's the Harlan Coben actor.
Angsty man.
Yeah.
Angsty man put through the mill. We also watched another season of this paranormal series that's done by the BBC with this journalist. Welsh journalist, and she is visiting this time a town that has meant to have seen some UFOs.
Yeah, it was a bunch of school kids in the 70s saw UFOs landing at the top of a field or something.
And I mean, it was entertaining. I quite like a trashy programme, like the dog programme.
I fell asleep.
I quite like a trashy programme for once in a while. You know, it's a change once in a while, isn't it? It's a little different to what we normally watch.
But it's one of those where they go, oh, and this woman, she was there. I think we should try and find her and interview her.
Again,
it's like, really?
Very contrived.
Totally contrived.
And, you know, trying to look as though this is the first time I've said this.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
But actually, I've been fed the line.
Yeah.
Or, actually, I wrote this line myself.
I wrote it myself 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. So, you know, it is, but it took me along for the ride, and I enjoyed it. We watched a movie.
Oh, yes.
I know. We don't normally watch movies, do we, Paul? No,
well,
we
you
don't.
don't. No.
Well, no, because you know what? To watch a movie,
it's commitment, isn't it?
It's a commitment. I need to know that it's going to be good, and I'll give it 10 minutes. If it's not got me in 10 minutes, it goes off, or I walk out of the room in disgust.
Well, usually asleep.
And this was 2014.
It was.
Dracula Untold.
Enjoyed it.
I have no idea who the actors are apart from Charles Dance.
Yes, Charles Dance was in it.
but we thoroughly enjoyed it. The story was well written. It's the backstory of Dracula.
It's the backstory of Dracula.
And it was good. I thought it was very clever how he met that girl and said, she said her name was Mina. Because, of course, Mina is the name of the girl in the Dracula novel. Did you get that bit, Paul? Are you sure? And, of course, he does meet her in the street like that in the novel, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In the original story. So, yeah, it was good. Really good. And the effects were quite good for 2014.
I thought the effects were really good, actually.
But it was using techniques that were around at the time, which was that sort of frozen 3D turning around people, looking at all the details.
It was good.
And it was good. It's recommended.
And
if
it
you
was
like
obviously set up for a sequel, which I don't think was ever made.
No.
Which is a shame.
I do like a Dracula film. Yeah.
Well, of course, the new Dracula film, I think it's been put on a shelf. It was supposed to come out last year, in the UK at least, and I think it's been put on a shelf.
Yeah, good. Quick. Skip to the end. And we watched the Question Time Leaders Special.
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, he fell asleep. I mean, actually...
Ed Davey didn't perform that well.
Well, he was the only one you saw. You saw a bit of John Swinney.
I was a bit... I wasn't interested in him because he's SNP. Why would I be voting for the SNP?
Well, you won't.
No, exactly.
But
I'm not interested. I didn't see Rishi because I don't care.
I mean, he was terrible. I mean, he actually got angry with two audience members.
Can't do that.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
It's not very good customer service.
And one of them did say, "You're actually putting words in my mouth," and then he said something else, and there was sort of shouts of shame from the audience.
Lovely. And skip to the end.
Question Time. I mean, the thing that's exciting about Question Time is the fact that you have all the panellists there, and they take turns in answering the same question. With this Question Time, it was just a leaders' debate.
Well, it wasn't even a debate.
No, it wasn't. It was
questions for the leaders.
Yeah, it was rubbish, actually.
We watched The Sky at Night, which we're increasingly becoming disappointed with.
Yeah, it's all getting like...
They're kind of trying to really...
excite people who aren't really excited about...
Youth it up.
Yeah.
And it's not working for us.
No.
Give me the old days with Patrick Moore. I love Maggie. I think she's great.
I think she's great, yeah.
But it's all this... that was just for a bit of fun. They were pretending to be in a haunted house.
Yeah.
Talking about ghosts of the cosmos.
Yeah.
And it was like, have I fast forwarded to the October episode?
The thing is,
because
they were
that would have been better at Halloween.
Yeah, it would have been.
Paul?
It would have been. Not good programming. They were doing it tongue in cheek. Then they were explaining they were doing it tongue in cheek, which of course then didn't. You thought, why bother doing it at all? Yeah. However, there was a really interesting bit, and I really don't like when people who are in position say you can be anything you want to be. I believe that is generally untrue. You know, I can't be a brain surgeon.
No.
Somebody who is living on a council estate and, you know, is living in poverty and is not going to go to good schools is unlikely to become a brain surgeon, even if they're really interested in the brain they want to be.
Yeah, right.
They might, but they might
blah,
not.
blah, blah.
However, there's this laboratory in the UK, a mile underground, and it basically is there to try and capture neutrinos as they go through the planet. And there was this woman on it who is the lead scientist of this laboratory. And she started, I think it was it 15 years ago, 20 years ago, as the cleaner.
And became very, very interested.
Somebody asked her mum whether she would be, her mum would do the cleaning, and I think her mum couldn't, and she said that she would do the cleaning. So she went down and she would clean, I think it was like 3 afternoons a week, and she's gone from that to being the lead scientist on this project. And I say go girl. I mean, what a brilliant
she's younger
role
than
model.
you, Paul.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that now because you haven't got the brain capacity when you get older.
No, I don't. No.
So that's it. I haven't got any more brain capacity left now. So it's time to say goodbye. Because I've got to edit this now, which is going to take a lot of effort.
Yes, because we're doing this late in the day. It's like 7 o'clock, something like that.
It's getting
dark.
The sun is dipping down behind the houses, Paul. And you're looking more and more like an Oompa Loompa as we go along.
I'm matching that colour, I think, there in the backdrop behind us. Yeah.
So, thank you, bloody thank you for watching. We do hope you've enjoyed this week's
Sunday Chat!
And we'll see you again very soon for more fun and frolics.
In a week's time. Yeah.
Well, you'll see people on your show, which is called A Week,
at the Plot.
Oh. Stop, Alexa. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop.
Everyone's Alexa has stopped now.
Thank you. Thank you, bloody thank you. And we'll see you very soon. Ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.
You've done a lot of Scylla and Victoria Wood and
Ta-ra.
what's it from Alison Steadman this evening, haven't you?
Have I?
Yeah.
I don't know, Paul.
Yeah.
It all comes naturally to me.
It does, yeah. What face have you got on now?
I don't care. Wave goodbye to the people, Paul.
Bye to the people, Paul.